The Matrix of Destruction, a wake-up call to walk in God's grace. In a world that felt like a carefully crafted illusion, Lena and Jake were two souls trying to navigate the chaos. They had married young, full of dreams and promises, but as the years went by, the weight of the material world began to press down on them. The Matrix, as some called it, was a system designed to distract, divide, and destroy. It glorified clout chasing, gold digging, and the pursuit of fleeting fame. It turned people into commodities, trading their values and morals for likes, followers, and short-lived victories. Lena, a talented artist, found herself drawn into the world of social media influencers. She started posting her work online, and before she knew it, she was caught up in the whirlwind of validation and comparison. The more followers she gained, the more she felt the pressure to conform, to dress a certain way, to project a certain image, to chase trends that had nothing to do with her true self. Jake, on the other hand, worked long hours in a corporate job, striving to provide for their family but feeling increasingly disconnected from his purpose. The Matrix had a way of creeping into their home. Lena began to resent Jake for not being more ambitious, for not understanding her newfound hustle. Jake, in turn, felt neglected and unappreciated. The distance between them grew, and soon, they were living like strangers under the same roof. One night, after a particularly bitter argument, Lena stormed out and found herself at a glamorous party hosted by a popular influencer. The room was filled with people who seemed to have it all: money, fame, beauty. But as Lena looked closer, she saw the emptiness in their eyes. She met Ava, a fashionista who seemed to have the perfect life but confessed to feeling hollow inside. Ava's relationships were shallow, her family was estranged, and her soul was burdened with karmic debts from the lives she had destroyed in her pursuit of success. Meanwhile, Jake, left alone at home, found himself scrolling through social media, comparing his life to the curated perfection he saw online. He felt like a failure, and in his despair, he reached out to an old flame, Mia, who had always been flirtatious and available. Mia represented everything the Matrix promised: excitement, escape, and instant gratification. But deep down, Jake knew it was a trap. The devil's plan was in full motion. Lena and Jake were on the brink of destroying their marriage, their family, and their future. Their children, Emma and Liam, were caught in the crossfire, feeling the emotional toll of their parents' choices. The Matrix had promised them freedom, but all it delivered was chaos. But God's grace was still at work. One day, Lena received a message from an old friend, Sarah, who had walked away from the influencer lifestyle after a spiritual awakening. Sarah shared her story of how she had sold her soul to the devil's promises but found her way back to God's light. Her words struck a chord in Lena's heart. At the same time, Jake had a dream that felt like a wake-up call. In the dream, he saw his children grown up, carrying the scars of his and Lena's choices. He woke up in tears, realizing the weight of his actions. Lena and Jake found their way back to each other, not through the Matrix's empty promises, but through the truth and awareness of God's grace. They began to rebuild their marriage, not as the world dictated, but as God intended. They prayed together, sought counseling, and made a conscious effort to align their lives with their faith. They realized that walking in God's grace required both of them to work hand in hand toward a common goal: of life rooted in love, truth, and purpose. They let go of the material distractions and focused on what truly mattered: their family, their faith, and their shared journey toward spiritual wholeness. In the end, Lena and Jake became a beacon of hope for others trapped in the Matrix. They shared their story, not for clout, but to inspire others to break free from the devil's script and walk in God's light. They showed that while the material world may promise short wins, true victory lies in living a life of grace, integrity, and love.